All right, which college football team do you guys think is in a free fall?
A free fall?
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
All right, Wisconsin. Yeah. Jennifer Smoke is the Wisconsin. Fantasy football with 3 consecutive weeks of gut-wrenching and in certain ways frustrating performances by players, injuries that have hurt her as well. Jennifer, 1-3. If we had a fantasy football league hot seat for coaches who could be fired, you'd be on it? How are we going to turn your team around? What's going on? How can it get better?
Dad, are you really comparing me to a losing college football team? Okay, we can get better by my players getting better. Like I said before, you know, I had Christian McCaffrey out. I had my kicker Nick Folk got hurt, and then I also had Julio Jones out, Sterling Shepard out. You know, every single player, like every single one of my star players has been hurt. Also including another one of my wide receivers, Claypool. So, you know, as soon as all these guys decide that they don't want to be babies anymore and get back on my roster, then I can hopefully start winning again. As soon as they all started dropping out, that's when I started losing. And when I'm losing, we're talking about, you know, a small dividend of points when I'm losing. So it's been heart-wrenching. But, you know, again, it's fantasy, and it's the way that fantasy works. So I'm just rolling with the punches.
I'm going to make 2 points here, one of them that she'll like and one of them that she won't. I'll start with a good one.
Wait, Paul, first of all, you know, I did not say that you had not been helping me, but I don't think I have to tell you that. As a matter of fact, I've been beating myself up for not listening to your recommendation. So, anyways.
She did not. So I'll skip the Cordarrelle Patterson thing.
Well, no, you're not going to skip it. Why did you not pick him up?
Dad. First of all, like I said, you know, I told you guys that I was trying to make a trade with Macy because she had about 5 to 6 really good running backs on her team. So after we get off the show, you know, I did wait a day and I went to go pick him up, and she had picked him up. In the middle of me trying to do a trade with her, she goes and picks up another running back that I really needed. And I was going to pick him up. Unfortunately, she got to him before me. And I was also trying to figure out because there were, you know, some schemes I was trying to do with the team I already had, and I just waited a little bit too long to get him. Was also trying to figure out who I was going to drop because even though I have some injuries, these guys are still big players when they come back, and so I couldn't risk losing some of them. But yeah, she goes and picks him up, and then had him on her bench last week, and so and we never did a trade. So you know that's why I didn't get him. That's all I got with that.
But to be fair, she has so many cues by the names of her roster that it looks like these guys would storm the Capitol. So
she has what?
There are all these cues.
Oh, okay.
Some people will get that joke, other people
questionable.
won't.
Okay. Okay.
Questionable, Dad.
All right.
Questionable.
But yeah, there's a lot of injuries on your team. Maybe Christian McCaffrey is back this week, and I'm just looking on the waiver wire for you, Jen.
Yeah,
I mean it's a lot of reaches this week. Maybe Jamison Crowder if you needed a wide receiver. It looks like the Jets might do some things in London this week against the Falcons, since the Falcons are also really bad. Alex Collins might play tonight, but that's a decision you'd have to make today and play him tonight in case Chris Carson doesn't play. So maybe too much risk there.
Yeah, I know. It's just, and like even Christian, you know, they said he practiced or had a limited practice yesterday, and he's hopeful to be back for the game, but it'll be a game time decision. And it's like, you know, as I'm not even going to get excited until I see him in a uniform with the ball in his hand. And even then, it's like I really don't even want him to, you know, hurry back because I don't want him to re-injure it. So it's just, these guys are stressing me out. You know, they really are. And now this week I'm playing one of the hardest teams in our league, if you've taken a gander at that. Like she's 3-1. I'm playing Kara with a K this week. And, I mean, her roster is just stacked. So it's going to be another big matchup. And I just hope that I can pull this win off because I'm tired of losing.
All right, Jennifer Smoke with us on Thursdays at 5:30.
Hi, Jen. I don't really have anything to add to this conversation, but you probably know that, right?
Hi, Bubba.
Hi.
Yeah, Bubba. I know, Bubba.
Okay.
I still love you.
Tell Oreo I said hi.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I will. No.
This week, though.
And Dad.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just going to say to my dad that, your Redskins once again have screwed me over. And McLaurin last week with that huge throw into the, how many guys on your team are just going to have their quarterback just throw it up into the end zone and it just fall in their hands? That's another play that really messed me up, because if he wouldn't have gotten that touchdown, I probably would have won the game. I went into Monday night with she had Peyton Barber, because last minute before the game started on Sunday, she had Dalvin Cook on her bench, and he was said that he was going to play, so she didn't end up putting him into her roster. She left Peyton Barber, who she had as a backup when Cook got hurt, and or she had him on her bench, and so then she put him in when Cook got hurt. And so I was so excited, and then Dalvin Cook, I think, got less than 5 points, and we went into the Monday night game. She had Peyton Barber, I had Darren Waller. I needed about 22 points, something like that, and of course, so I hear on the radio or on the TV that Barber has gone into the medical tent, and I'm like, oh my god. And then Darren Waller, Carr was struggling getting the ball down, and it just looked like one of those games where I was just like, oh gosh, this is going to be another Monday night nightmare. And then Darren Waller gets a touchdown. He's got about 16 points, and then they couldn't do anything with the ball after that. And that's when I realized it was just another one of those teasing Monday nights where you think you could possibly win. Barber came back in for one snap, and still I couldn't do it because Carr, for some reason, couldn't be accurate for his life. So it's been tough, guys. It's been really tough.
Okay, so Christian McCaffrey started practicing. I was on the phone with Coach Rule over the weekend, and he is going to probably force him back early because of your fantasy team. You are going to start him, right? Or is there a chance at the last second that they decide not to play him?
I don't know. That's between Rule and McCaffrey. I mean, I hope that they play him, but then again, I don't want him to play and be limited or re-injure himself. If at the very last second, the good news is if at the very last second they decide not to play him, at least I still have Hubbard, which that's not saying much at this point, but at least I still have him. So it's not like I have to try to pick somebody else back up. It's just going to be one or the other, more than likely, that I put in depending on what they say.
All right, Paul, right now with her roster, and it's a mess because of what she's mentioned, some because of productivity, but also because of the injuries. She's not favored to win. She's in a high-scoring shootout, perhaps. What? There's nothing there? There's no Cordarrelle Patterson she can turn down this week?
No, there's not. And I got to tell you, Jen, I'm not optimistic about the team you're playing this week with Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, TJ Hawkinson, and Justin Tucker.
Yeah, I know. Me neither.
How did she end up with all of those players and you have maybe two people?
Exactly. Dad, that's the question I've been asking myself since I've been staring at her roster. That's exactly. And you know what? She was, I believe she picked 8th or 9th in the draft. Anybody that goes 8th or 9th out of 10 is already dreading it. I even remember her text whenever I announced what the order was. She was like, I hate my spot. Yeah, really? Well, try being in mine. So she has an amazing team. And, of course, I do feel like Josh Allen hasn't really had the type of year that people were expecting him to have, but he's still playing on a ridiculous level. And the fact that the Bills have such a good defense that he hasn't had to get in many shootouts with teams. But, of course, he's still, this week he's going against the Chiefs. So, obviously, that could potentially be a shootout. Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry. I mean, my boyfriend told me to draft him instead of McCaffrey, and I really need to start listening to him. And also, Tyreek Hill, he's one of the most dangerous players in fantasy to me. And he can have a slow week or he can explode for 50 points. And this will be the week he explodes for 50 points.
Well, he did that last week, so.
Well, he'll do it again this week, that he's playing me. And then CD, besides week 1, he's had a relatively slow start, so he's due for a huge game. And a lot of it, too, are my matchups. It's like the people that I'm playing and the players that they have playing. It's like last week, I'm playing Goddard. Her tight end starter was Gronk. And then she puts in Goddard. Oh, let's give him a touchdown. The goat starts him 3 times in a row, get him 16 points. That'll be great. It's just a joke, But, I'm a fighter. I'm going to still make my adjustments. I am killing myself over not getting Cordarrelle Patterson, though. And I want to ask you, Paul, so whenever Macy picked up Cordarrelle Patterson, she dropped Kenny Golladay. So I picked up Kenny Golladay, being the fact that I need people that aren't injured. And Kenny Golladay did have a great week last week. He had He got me like 19 points, had 6 catches, 119 yards. And a lot of that was due to the fact Shepard and Slayton were not playing because of their injuries. So I do want to know, how long do you think, though? And by the way, is Cordarrelle a wide receiver or running back? Because last week he looked like a wide receiver.
He's very unique.
Yeah,
very unique to have on your team. So, 3 touchdowns. When Julio Jones played for Atlanta for 10 years, he never scored 3 touchdowns in one game. So, and I have Julio Jones. Woohoo! He's doing nothing. So, what do you think about that, Paul? You think Cordarrelle Patterson's going to keep this up?
I think that he's the only thing they've got going in that offense right now, especially this week. Yeah. Mike Davis has been terrible. Calvin Ridley's not going to London.
No.
So, yeah. I mean,
well, Calvin Ridley got Taylor points last week when I played him. So.
Yeah, and now he's not going to London. So, again, I think Galladay's a solid pickup. I think he's got a matchup with the Cowboys defense that gives up a lot of yards and can give up some points. They're kind of doing it all on turnovers and sacks. So,
all right, we got to get to something.
And let me say something else.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know Urban Meyer's really distracted in the bars with 20-year-olds, but if he doesn't learn, besides the lesson he learned this last week, another lesson he needs to learn is give James Robinson the ball. I mean, it's ridiculous. A lot of, I feel like, they were up. I feel like James Robinson had a great week last week, and the Jaguars had something going early in the first. Oh my gosh. The Jaguars had something going early last week as they went into halftime with 14-0. But a lot of that was due to them feeding James Robinson the ball. And then they come out in the second half and they basically abandon the running game. And Robinson only touched the ball 6 times in the second half. And it's like, give James Robinson the ball. Do y'all not agree with me? It's like, give him the ball.
He already had his plans. His mind was on something else. And so,
yeah, clearly.
Hey, so here, the chat room, we've got to do this. J.G. Neolardo, when you're called Bubba on the air. From Caden, Craig got love, Bubba. Dad got grief. Joey Foster, can we start calling Craig Bubba?
Oh, God.
From JG, I'm the eldest of 3, the only male, and I have 2 younger sisters. Love the love on this conversation. From Bob Williams, answer this. Do the Smokes remind y'all of the Bundys? Just asking. From Caden, Craig, Bubba Smoke. Chris, Jennifer cracks me up. She reminds me of my saltiness when my guys play poorly as well.
Look, Chris, Gary Lewis, a no blank legit sports fan, and Chris says she's the most intense female fantasy football player I have ever seen.
Yeah. Beer smoker 4444. Trade Christian for value if you can get it. Paul needs a family nickname. Caden, I feel sorry for Craig. His childhood must have been a nightmare.
Oh my God!
Best comment. I'm a super chat you.
That guy.
From JG, if Craig is Bubba, Paul is Boo Boo.
Bubba and Boo Boo in the mornings.
From Gary, you already mentioned that.
That'd be a great morning show. I'll tell you right now.
From Gary, I like how she got the most fired up when describing her fantasy nemesis and what she did with the trade, picking up, who was it, off the waivers. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I know, y'all. I get so worked up. I get so much anxiety, but I can't help it. I hate to lose, but I also love football so much, and I just want to have one happy Sunday. Can I just have one happy Sunday, please?
Yes, because we then would have one happy Sunday. From Chris, Craig, tell Jennifer to grab the backup Chicago running back. Montgomery just got hurt. Is that right, Paul? Is that true?
I did. I picked up Damian Williams, but then I thought he was hurt too.
Oh,
I think he's going to play a lot sooner than
Damian Williams,
Montgomery,
former Sooner, who had a big Red River rivalry game, and that's just kind of fitting with the timing of this week that Damian Williams gets brought up. Remember his long run against Texas a few years ago? Yeah, so that piece of advice, thank you for that, but she's already done that apparently.
Yeah, here's some more. Jennifer, let's see. Jennifer Smoke for LSU job. My girlfriend is scared of ladybugs. That's from ammonia. I don't get Jennifer on Colin Cowherd's show. Oh, my God.
I would love that. I want to be that girl that sits with him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
it's been like 5 different people, I think. So I would name whoever that is, but I don't even know who it is at this point. But yeah, he has had a rotating cast.
It's. I'm not going to guess right now. She's got No, I'm not.
Here's another one. Tell Hayden to change those screen name tags. I don't know what that is about.
Because instead of saying like Craig, he would say
Bubba.
Bubba.
Bubba. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Bubba, David, and Boo Boo. That's the name of our. Who do you pick to win West Virginia Baylor? Joey wants to know.
Baylor.
Okay. All right. Thank
Bears,
you.
baby. And by the way, y'all, it's actually Bubba Bear.
Yeah.
Oh, just make sure you.
Thank you.
I'm worried. Yeah.
That was sweet of you, Jennifer.
Yeah.
It's not Bubba. It's Bubba Bear.
It's my Bubba Bear.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
Jennifer, can you tell the story about the time you were sitting on the sink
right.
in the bathroom when your
Dad,
t-shirt caught up?
Dad, I'm getting another call, so I gotta go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.
And then from ammonia, dang it, Smoke, you weren't supposed to say that.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah,
can
we
hear you.
need to get you
A filter.
Yes, very much so on the chat room because you're bound to read off something you don't need to read off at some point.
And I'm now being called, I'm Bubba Bear, Boo Boo, and I'm Yogi.
Yogi.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. She's called me that our whole lives.
Forever.
I don't even know where it came from, quite honestly.
I just can't wait to go on and get a nice cool FM morning gig and be like, y'all listen to Bubba and Boo Boo in the morning.
Yeah.
We got George Strait coming at you, but our big question is Egg McMuffin or Burger King?
Yeah.
What do you like?
Hey, what is that? I'm getting a call from Waco 100 right now.
When we come back, let Craig tell the story about Bubba Bear.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know where that came from. I have